Most of them didn't have shoes, and every time we meet them, they always wore the same clothes. The only thing they could play with was what they had, rocks, trees, and their creativity. I think that we have a responsibility to play our part and help improve their lives, because we are more fortunate.
But what I learned most after returning to boarding school in Canada is that people do not understand what it is like to live in a country like India. They can't. They can read the news reports about the 30% of the population living below the poverty line, or hear on the radio about the people killed in the Delhi bombings, or watch reports set in rural Indian villages where the population is completely illiterate. But as soon as they put down their newspaper, or switch the channel, or the radio station, they are back in their own lives with their own hopes and worries. And I can't blame them. I had so many stories I could tell them. I could tell them about the disease-ridden dog with a broken leg that would limp after me each time I went running. I could tell them about the little girl performing tricks at the side of the road to the beat of her father's drum, overjoyed when anyone paid even the slightest attention to her calloused hands and feet performing their intricate routine. I could tell them about coming out to the entire school in assembly with teachers who had preached the evils of homosexuality to their classes, scattered among the audience. But I do not tell them. My stories would become another news report, touching but impossible to understand unless one is actually there.
So my life in the Himalayas. Waking up to mesmerizing sunrises, the chanting of prayer echoing through the mountains every morning. Baby monkeys trying to look all dignified, pattering on my windowsill. The booming lightning shows every night before bed during the long months of the mighty monsoons. The epic puddle jumping and afternoon hikes, only to realize we were trekking through clouds. I will never forget hearing the booming voice of my house mama, Miss Geeta, from third floor as she called from first floor. Girls, lights out! Girls, lights out! Drinking the freshest water and breathing the freshest air at 14,000 feet elevation at the Rupan Supin Pass. The pungent smell of mehendi on Friday nights with the girls. Hobbling through the congested roads of Delhi on a rickshaw with 5 other people. Motorbiking to the sharp blind school in a nearby town on Saturdays to experience one of the most loving and interdependent communities I've ever been a part of. Endless festivals and dancing to the wild beats of the tabla drums and soothing sitar. Bursting firecrackers for weeks and weeks after the Diwali Lights Festival. Oh, and rice and munga dal, chana dal, urad dal, chawali dal, tuvar dal, and I can go for days. I tasted it all for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And I couldn't get my hands off the chili peppers. Those of you who know me know I go crazy on the hot sauce in Brown Hall. I was absolutely stunned by the village kids who would raid our soccer games and really show us how it was done. Those kids were practically doing the Matrix with their feet. Winding up the rustic roads of the Missouri Mountains in the back of a potato truck for 90 kilometers after a 7-day trek. Sassy bargaining in the bazaars, wearing the swankiest looking clothing all the time. Meeting the Dalai Lama to realize he's pretty much the Tibetan version of Mr. Butterfield. He's a goose. Sappy Bollywood marathons that all climax to the passionate handhold. Munching on silver-lined Lata candies that were apparently very good for my health. And overall, just the constant adrenaline rush of consuming an atmosphere so cultured, so zesty, and so full of joy. And a constant sense of ease and renewal. My life in the Himalayas.